Alright, the Cavs are still undefeated by the time I'm recording this. They're 9-0, y'all. And if you have missed it, I had to react to a Cavs game, and now we have to talk about it because they're still undefeated by the time that I'm recording this. I really want to know, is this team really like that? Because 9 games is such a small sample size. And my thing is, if this winning streak goes to at least 14, if it goes to 14, then we can have a discussion. But 9 games... Like, I think in the next 2 games they'll probably lose. And I'm not saying it because I'm trying to hate on the Cleveland Cavaliers, because so far I was rooting for them in the entire playoffs. If you can look back, I was wondering why they didn't play like this during the 2024 playoffs. But, you know, injuries played a whole part, and I feel like they didn't really... Something was off. And I feel like now it's clicking, and I love it, bro. Darius Garland has been phenomenal so far, and the 3-point percentage and everything, everybody on the team knows like what they're supposed to do. The 3-point percentage has been looking really well. Right now they're second in the league in 3-point percentage, which is really important, especially when you have somebody like Darius Garland, who's going to be the main ball handler. Hopefully he does not get injured. Y'all know I hate seeing injuries over everything. I don't really care what type of team you're on. I don't care if you're the rival of my favorite team. If you're this, we hate to see injuries, and especially in the playoffs. So seeing them perform really well, I was really hoping that this would have been in the playoffs, because they could have had a chance against Boston, but unfortunately no injuries and stuff like that. I'm not gonna lie to you, that would have been such a dope series. It don't matter. Okay, that's last year. Let's just focus on the now. So with Darius Garland being the point guard, I've seen it play against the Pelicans. Evan Mobley set the screen for Darius Garland, and while he was rolling, it's like there's so many options you can just do. Either you throw the lob to Evan Mobley, or you have like the spacers around you, which is like, you know, Isaac Okoro has been like shooting like 40-something% from 3. I thought it was just a fluke. I looked at his stats from last year, and it's looking like he's been getting better. I feel like those 3-point attempts are going to determine if the Cavs are really serious or not, because I just looked it up. Last year they were 15th in 3-point percentage. I mean, you know, the 3-point percentage was 15th, and the thing is, to be like 15th and top 10, it's only like really like point something percentage, but that's going to change something in the long run when we talk about a team that's probably going to be contending in the East. And when we talk about the East, it's more likely going to be either the Knicks, Boston, Magic could have a sneaky run, but like, I don't know. It's still too early to tell who's going to be favored to win everything. I feel like with every team that wins the championship, next year they're always looked at as, oh, okay, they're going to be tough to beat. But then like we always kind of get surprised where like how quick the NBA kind of moves on from that team, and we get like these new stars who are just developing right now, and they're shining in these new spots. So far, I'm loving the chemistry. It doesn't really feel like nobody is... You know, there's like certain teams where there's uncertainty, where like people don't know how to react to something. They don't know how to handle the ball. They don't know if I should shoot this right now. Like, if, for example, we got the Clippers right when they traded for James Harden. There was uncertainty for sure, because you could tell that, okay, James Harden was like, okay, so how am I supposed to be like playing right here? And then Paul George's like, okay, should I pass it to James, let him be more comfortable? Should I give it to Kawhi? Westbrook is still starting at that point. That team, there was something wrong. Okay, there was something wrong. You can look at it in hindsight and be like, okay, yeah, somebody, the fact that Westbrook had to be the one be like, okay. The thing is, I feel like the Clippers were willing to just go with starting Westbrook, Harden, PG, and Kawhi until it failed, basically. And instead, Westbrook was like, okay, you know what, bro, I'll take it on myself. I'll go to the bench, and let's just get this thing rolling. And guess what happened? Once he took that responsibility, they were rolling. But it's not about the Clippers. I'm just giving you the example about how a team could just be unsure. And I do not feel that with this Cavs team, because when you have Donovan Mitchell, an all-star player, and Garland as well, these weird rumors about Mitchell getting traded and shit, and then like Garland being there, it could really it could cause some problems for sure. So far, they're doing a good job of just making sure that both of them can shine whenever the game needs them to be. They don't really need to have the ball at all times. Mitchell could have gone I watched the Bucks game. It's like, yo, what's going on? Mitchell has not really been scoring the last couple of minutes because Darius Garland had that shit going. And I love that. There's camaraderie, you know what I'm saying? Like, you feel that. I love that. You don't really feel that with every team, even though that should be like the basic things for a good team. But that's going to be really important because they have been through the playoffs and they have lost, and now they're going to come back and probably finish like around 3 or 4 seed. 9 games is still way too early to tell anything, but like you can tell when something is flowing a little bit. It depends on how the coaches are going to react and how they're going to adjust in the following months, like January. Another issue, there's a small issue I've noticed where whenever the bench is in, I feel like I've not seen any specific stats. I'm just talking about like what I've seen so far. Whenever the bench is in, that's going to be really pivotal because I've seen, especially against the Pelicans, they just won. The bench, they kind of gave up some points until, some of the starters had to push back that lead. But sometimes in transition, I feel like they're basically unstoppable. Almost Evan Mobley, they have some delay action with Evan Mobley where he brings up the ball and stuff like this. And there's just so many options. I love it when you have Evan Mobley. Jared Allen is still pretty good. Like, Jared Allen has been pretty underrated, I feel like, because he's still like averaging like 16 and 12 right now. And Evan Mobley has been hooping, bro. I love to see it. I love to see, this Cavs team be good in the East. I just don't know how it's going to look in the playoffs because those numbers are definitely going to shrink. That is the issue. That's what happened last year. It's like, okay, when those threes aren't falling, I feel like the Cavs are kind of, I don't know, bro. I don't know how many 50-point games Donovan Mitchell is going to have for y'all to be getting into the second round or something like that, you know what I mean? It just depends on matchups. I hope they don't fall into the 7th seed because then you probably have to go up against the toughest matchup, which you... Actually, can we talk about that? Is the toughest matchup really in the first round not that bad? Because let's say you're the 4th seed and you go up against the 5th seed. And that could be a division rival, and you already had intense battles throughout the season, and now you're telling me you have to go through a 7-game series against that? That's what happened to them. Literally last year, you went up against the Magic, that shit went on to 7 games, y'all were beat up, which then resulted into y'all getting injured, and then that means in the second round, you had to face basically the top of the top, which was the Boston Celtics. And am I crazy for saying this? You'd rather face the best of the best when you're 100% healthy. Technically, that 8 seed would not have been that bad, because like, who knows how that would have went because Donovan Mitchell was healthy, but I still feel like Boston would have won. I feel like this team's identity is way more present than the one from last year, and I might just be wrong because even last year's regular season, the Cavs were looking like a real team. Because I was watching the Clippers play them, and they looked like they had no chance, bro. The Clippers looked like they were just out there. Like I said, this all comes back to like not taking the regular season too serious, but this is also about the Cavs giving them their props because a 9-game winning streak, especially in this environment of like in this year 2024 where everything changes, like the Warriors were looked at as like playing teams, even though it's still early. Like I said, nobody expected the Warriors to go like 7-1, but just by getting Buddy Hield, Buddy Hield, I knew it. I swear to God, I knew it, bro. When they traded Buddy Hield, I was like, yeah. This is perfect for him. But I didn't know it was going to be this good. And then everybody else stepping up. The Warriors team is going to be really fun again. And the thing is, okay, I was about to get into a little rant about Warriors, but like let's keep that aside. So what I've seen so far from the Cavs, 9 games in, Evan Mobley can keep doing what he does. I'm glad that I feel like he has more confidence now in his game. He's doing way more post work stuff, or just even like top of the key, driving into the lane and then doing like little fundamental stuff, like Tim Duncan type of style. He was doing some of that last year, but I feel like this year he's been kind of more perfecting it, which makes sense. You get more experience coming into the league. Like, it's just simple work. Until the playoffs, there's still so much time to develop. So they might even have a stretch where they lose like 6 or 7 games, and then people are gonna be like, oh hey, remember when they went 9-0? But then they might even recover from that because they got a new coach in Kenny Atkinson, right? I swear, isn't that Mr. Bean? Hold on. He used to coach the Nets? Oh, who was Mr. Bean? Oh, it's Rowan Atkinson. Okay, my bad. Damn, they sent JB Bickerstaff to Detroit? Oh, that's tough. I feel like people just overrate how much a coach really has the impact because you got to give credit to him. Maybe he said something. Maybe he was like, okay, let's adjust something from last year. Maybe I'm missing the main point about all this, where the coach stepped in and was like, yeah, let's just change this into that, and then let's get rolling. But those bench minutes are going to be the most important minutes in the entire game, kind of like every NBA team. But like, how much can they keep this up? That's what I want to know. They got some snipers too. Like Sam Merrill has been shooting the ball. They keep shooting with confidence, and even when they don't have good shooting nights, they're still staying in the game because of their defensive efforts. And like Isaac Okoro and Karis LeVert have been stepping up too. Like, where's this confidence coming from, yo? I love to see it though. Like, this is all about confidence. That's why we love basketball, bro. It's just, you could have a bad night, but you could still be the best player on the court offensively. You know what I'm saying? Like, you could be offensively struggling, but then on the defensive end, you could come back and be the best player ever. But I just feel like every team has just improved drastically. Even the ones that are technically bad are still looking like they were better from last year, which is the difficulty in the NBA is insane. This just reminded me of 2 years ago. I don't know why I still remember that, but the Bucks went also 9-0. And they lost against Atlanta. That's a long time ago in terms of NBA, because everything can change in like literally a month or two in the NBA. But like, even a team like the Bucks had a beautiful start, and then teams just start to figure stuff out. I'm not trying to hate, I promise y'all, but I just know how this shit works now because I've been through it too. Clippers 10-game winning streaks, 10-0 basically, right? And then shit, they figured it out, bro. They figured us out. Everything can just change in a second. So yeah, still credit to the Cavs, but just don't overreact, okay? Bro, I'm saying that like, nah, but just watch the next reaction, bro. Just watch it. I'm saying don't overreact, bro. Did y'all see what happened in OKC against, man? Okay, this is still a Cavs video, but like, we gotta mention Denver. And I forget, it is still Denver in 6. What do you think this was, bro? What do you think this is?